I told you I'm putting it on you. We're going for it.
Yeah, I was making a bunch of plays out there.
Good. That's good. That's solid, too.
Yes, sir.
Hold your ground. Hold your ground. Woo! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, we got all we need right there, right? All we need, baby.
All right, we are here with a very unique and special episode, something that we are trying as an experiment. We'll see how it goes. All right, we got some very special fans that reached out to us on Twitter after the game to figure out what the fuck just happened. We want to talk about the problems. We want to try and diagnose the solutions and just kind of like try and get away from the sadness that we're currently living in. So we have a very special guest. We have Alejandro, we have Brian, we have Karen. We all know Karen. We have Toasty, we have Tyler, and we have Craig from Texas. So let's just start this off with, we're going to go one at a time. Tell us what your least favorite thing from this game was. And we're going to start with Alejandro. Hit it, my man.
All right, least favorite thing for me, there's a lot of them, but I'm going to have to say getting beat defensively for big plays. I don't understand it. I thought the whole cover 3 scheme was to prevent that, and I'm just not seeing it.
Got it. All right, Karen, what you got? What you got for us, Karen?
Oh my God. It was just losing to the Raiders. This is the game that can send me into sadness. Usually I'm pretty good with losses, but to lose to the Raiders is just the worst. So just losing to them was the worst part.
I feel you. Even like the lack of tailgating and the lack of being around them, it still feels like darkness has taken us over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
All right, Toasty, what you got?
It's my least favorite, apart from losing to the Raiders, but not a fan of how our special teams was playing today. Badge missing kicks, just our coverage, our punts. It was weird all day.
No, and the dropped kick at the very end of the game to lock that shit down.
That didn't help.
That was huge.
That was brutal. All right, Tyler, what you got, man?
Mine was just going like 0-6 in the division since last year to this year. We haven't won a division game yet, so that's kind of been a little hurting.
It's brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. All right, Craig, what you got for us, buddy?
I hate this for Herbert more so than anything. The kid doing way more than anyone initially expected. He's going above and beyond, and it's literally he's doing all he can, and it's not resulting in wins. And I mean, he seems like a really strong-willed, strong-minded guy, so he's handling it well. But I know inside this has got to suck. So above everything else, just having him play so well and not having the wins to show for it is what sucks the most for me.
100%. Well, and it's just kind of crazy because we had the kind of flip effect on this game where we started off kind of slow. They kind of overtook us right before halftime. We had the strip for the field goal, and it felt like things were going our way. And that kind of leads me into like, what were some of the positive things that each of you had? And we're going to go in reverse order. Craig, what was your favorite thing that happened?
The running game. It's actually been 2 weeks now. The running game to a certain extent this week, should I say, because Kalen Ballage, I was a pretty big fan of his a couple of years ago coming out of ASU. I never really thought he would have a chance to end up on the Chargers. I didn't really see that being a thing. He kind of fell out of graces at ASU. And then he ended up on the team somehow. So I was really looking forward to him getting on the roster, the active roster, and getting some snaps. And lo and behold, it happened this week, and he looked like their best running back on the roster. So that was probably the best thing that I saw today. And then I guess moving forward, the opportunity to have him, Eckler, and Kelly as like this 3-headed monster would be awesome. I think Justin Jackson's probably going to work his way out of the rotation because he can't stay on the field. But having those 3 guys and Ballage kind of being like this hybrid of Eckler and Kelly, I think could work wonders in the future. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I don't want to leave this topic. I think I want to jump around to everyone with this is like Kalen Ballage definitely was like a huge force for us today. Scored a touchdown, had a lot of yards, was very, he's a big guy and was powerful. And we haven't had that kind of running back since Melvin Gordon. So what do you think about that, Karen? Karen, what are your thoughts on the running game this week?
I was excited to see. When Balaj came in, I was like, I mean, I'm going to be embarrassed. I'm going to embarrass myself. But I was like, who? Huh? What?
No,
And then it was like, oh my God, yeah, Balaj. I know how to spell that. I'm all about that. So that was exciting. It was nice to see. I still love Joshua Kelly, and I'm still cheering for him too. And I think that also, can I say my other thing too?
Yeah, go for
Or
it.
are we just talking running back?
No, do it.
I think the Hunter Henry sightings today were really, really nice to see him be used a little bit more. And the fact that in the very end of the game, Herbert is so calm. He's so in control. I'm like watching him. You would never know he's a rookie just by the way he handled himself. And I was like so sure we were going to win that game. I was so sure we were going to win.
Yeah.
So I'm like excited for the future for us with him, which I think everybody else is too. But it was just nice to see.
The confidence is high for sure with our offense and what we're capable of doing. The question is the defense. That's where we're all at right now and what's going to happen. So, Brian, what was one of your favorite things that happened in this game?
Kind of talking about the offensive line, talking about how well the running game's been doing. If I'm not mistaken, we've had a pretty good running game since Cole Toner has come in and taken over at right guard. So that may be a bright spot kind of going forward. That kind of also pairs with like the bad thing is Bulaga went back down. So how much longer he went down with the back injury again. So if it's a repeat, I think, 2-3 weeks he was out before he came back. So now we're back to Pipkins again. So, but I mean, seeing the run game be consistent, seeing our offense be consistent, seeing Herbert, I think we've all kind of been waiting on a down game for him, and it's still not happened.
Doesn't happen. That doesn't happen with him. Yeah, it's for sure exciting.
You still get to see these just big bombs from him where he just uncorks it. I got to see that just ridiculous throw from the 30 to the 10 in the highlight, and it's just like, who can do that? Who else in the league can do that? Maybe. So, I mean, there's a lot to be hopeful for.
It's awesome. All right. Well, Toasty, what you got, man? What was your favorite part of this game?
A big part of my favorite part of it was watching Kalen Balaj, because being from Arizona, being able to see, an ASU guy get into the league and actually start producing. Because even watching him have that 8 touchdown game he had against Texas Tech and Patrick Mahomes went to overtime, that was really cool. So hopefully we get to see some of that in the league where he has that basically rematch against Mahomes. But the play calling was actually really unique to me, because we were actually making a lot of interesting, unique plays for certain players you wouldn't really expect. It's just unfortunate that those last 2 fades did not hit.
Well, and I'm kind of interested because Kalen Balaj just showed up on the scene all of a sudden. So you're clearly, we see the license plates behind you. Yeah. You're from Arizona. So tell us a little bit more, just briefly, about what you thought of him in college and why were you excited when he came to the Chargers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the down things, there'd be a lot of times he would have the line from me who just hit through that wall and he would go for 40 yards. He'd break 2 or 3 tackles and be like, oh, he's going to make it. He's going to go all the way for the 7-yard touchdown. 10 yards short, he gets caught. Well, he was just that close. That was one of the things I feel like their draft evaluation had his draft stock drop into the 4th round. Plus, his hands are really good as far as out of the backfield. Are, I think, a little underrated. So being able to add that to Eckler and Kelly and stuff, I feel like that's really cool to see what could potentially happen.
No, that's awesome. And then you were saying that exactly. Literally, what you just said was a tweet from Craig on Twitter. Talk about Kalen Balaj a little on that, Craig.
Yeah, so same thing. I kept up with him towards the latter portion of his career at ASU. I mean, he was a highlight machine. And I think when Herm Edwards and crew kind of took over, he fell out of favor. He had a tendency to be more of an east-west runner because he's a freak athlete. I mean, again, I posted guys with 6'2", sub 4'5", 40, 230 pounds, and he has wide receiver hands. And thing is, he knows he's an athlete, but what he hadn't quite figured out is he's better running north and south and utilizing that strength and speed to his advantage. He kind of has the scat back mentality from time to time. And you can see it even in today's game. Initially, he was just pounding the rock upfield. There are a couple plays where he got happy feet. He was kind of bouncing around east to west. And, it kind of showed a little bit of what he needs to work on moving forward. But I mean, if they can hone that in, Chargers might have another steal on their hands, another situation where they have a guy where no one expected a ton. but someone's able to kind of hone in and get him focused on what he's best at. And it could be another Tom Telesco special. And he gets lucky and ends up with a good player.
I love the idea of like all of our running backs being 6th round or undrafted. Like just all these guys, just bring them in and we just are super productive. It's kind of fun. So, all right, Alejandro, what was your favorite part of this game?
All right, well, I was going to go running backs as well. I really like the way Kalen Ballage was running. He just looks so big and efficient as a runner. Like Craig said, north-south is great for him. But I also want to say that Herbert just never seems unfazed in any portion of the game. Even at the last minute and a half of the game, he was unfeathered. And he just kept going. Nothing bothered him at all. If anyone already said that, I'll change it to something else.
But it's a resounding the same answer. Yeah. We all were very impressed by that. That's exactly.
Yeah, and then Keenan Allen, of course. I just wish they would have used him in that crucial moment. He's just awesome. That's all.
He just sucks double teams galore. And then when they mess up and we give him in a weird, formation, then he sneaks out, you see the touchdown. He's just so freaking good and we're so lucky to have him. All right, Tyler, what you got, man? What's your favorite moment of this game?
Yeah, I think honestly it was like the development of the offense. Like I think at one play they had Keenan Allen as a running back. He ran I don't know what route he ran, but he ran a route as a running back and was like wide open for like 15 yards. So just kind of seeing the offense gradually develop, right, as Herbert gets more confident, as the offensive coordinator gets more, comfortable and like adapting plays, right? Like you're seeing it develop. You're not seeing the same stuff every week, right? So I think that's really awesome. They're just continuing to develop and getting better. And I just hope this defense can come together, man, because we're missing Bosa, we're missing Derwin James. We just need their presence. I feel like to get that efficiency out of the defense, but positives would be the development of the playbook, I guess.
All right, cool. So I absolutely agree with everything you just said. Let's go around the wheel. One thing you want to see next week that would make you feel better about how you feel now. Let's start with Tyler.
I'd say like a pick six or interception or more turnovers, just some kind of defensive success. Like just, get back to that mentality of being, bend but don't break, like find who we are, right? Like we lost who we are on defense. We need to find it, right? We used to have it and then somehow we lost all these games in a row and so the morale's down, right? They need to, dig deep and find that killer instinct and just kind of come back to like 3 and outs and, turnovers and forcing them to kick field goals. Cause if we're scoring 30 points a game, our offense is going to,
we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So just got to find it. So.
Absolutely. All right, Karen, what you got?
Joey Bosa back.
Yeah. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
That's it.
That's all you got. Just Joey Bosa. I love that. That's
I just want
favorite.
Joey Bosa back. That's it.
I love it. All right, Craig, what you got, man?
It's twofold. A consistent defensive performance, because 30 points or near that much a week should be enough to win you most games. And I need Shane Steichen to pull his face out of his butt on 3rd and short. I don't know what it is about 3rd and short, like 3rd and short yardage, but for some reason he has this extreme brain fart. It can be like 3rd and 20 and he's got something perfect dialed up. But if it's 3rd and under 5, like he'll go into his
like, how many hands can I put it into before I do something with it?
Yeah, he's like, I don't. What is this called? A play? What? Okay, yeah, just
what?
Do this. He just kind of throw something at the wall to see if it sticks. So again, consistent defense, and Shane needs to pull it together on short down and distance. So that's what I need to see. I would love to see it.
Absolutely. All right, Brian, what you got?
A win would be the easiest.
And slam dunk on that.
The easiest. That's the easiest thing that we feel better. But it's kind of a double-edged sword at the rate we're going, because we got the Dolphins next week and the Jets after that, I think. So I hope, please.
God, please pull something together for the love of God.
But yeah, a win would make me feel better. I think, like everybody's kind of saying, offense is great. It's just got to come together at some point on defense. So hopefully we can get, they keep saying they're going to unleash Kenneth Murray. Hopefully they can figure that out. I like him. I feel like he'll be an integral piece of the defense long term. Just get him going, get James back, and I think we'll be set.
Toasty, what you got, man?
I mean, I would love to see Kalen Ballage keep up the consistency from this week, but also I'd love to see Herbert finally get a win, but not just against the Dolphins, but against them because they took Tua over him. So I'm kind of interested to see.
I like that.
You skipped this guy to take him instead.
I like that. That's a really good point to make for sure. And that's going to be an exciting week because we got the Burrow game earlier in the year, and then he didn't get to play against Burrow, and now he'll get to play against these guys that were picked ahead of him. So I like that.
Honestly, I really hope that game gets flexed to primetime because that means everybody would get to see it too.
100%. And the thing is, the one thing you can't say about the Chargers is we're not exciting to watch. We are always putting up awesome, fun games to watch. It's just a fucking fact. Excuse me. All right, Alejandro, what you got, man?
All right, what I got will all lead to a win next week if they do this. All 3 units of the team play all 4 freaking quarters, including defense, offense, and special teams. Put it all together just one time, 1 week. That'll make me happy.
I love it. All right, well, I think I just came up with the name for this episode. This is the Instant Reaction Rejects, because we just lost and we suck this week. So thank you for coming on to the first episode of Instant Reaction Rejects. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And let's try and have a nice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We'll make it.
Oh my God.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
I told you I'm putting it on you. We're going for it.
Yeah, I was making a bunch of plays out there.
Good. That's good. That's solid too. Yes, sir. Hold your ground. Woo. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, we got all we need right there, right? All we need, baby.